What did you think, Del?
Huh? You get next. I'm talking about you. Huh? You? Me?
Oh,
What's next?
the third?
What's
You
next?
want to do it? Let's see what
Trilogy.
what Frank said. Yeah. Tottenham. Yeah. You want to do it? Let's do it, yeah. Okay, cool.
Joseph Parker's energy was undeniable as he teased what's coming next. The question on everyone's mind, what's next for the man after his big win? Without hesitation, Parker threw down the gauntlet, the trilogy fight. He didn't mince words, jumping on the idea and showing just how ready he is for whatever comes next. Datichi call-out was bold, and his confidence was clear. He's not backing down from any challenge. This is a man willing to go to war again, proving he's not just here for the spotlight, but for the real test. Datichi question now is, will the trilogy fight become a reality, or will the powers that be hold it back a little longer? Whatever happens, one thing is for sure, Parker is ready to take on whatever comes next.
I feel great. I feel blessed. And I feel like I'm going to have another big fight soon.
Do you think it will be Daniel? The guys just said they'd love to see the Alexander Usyk fight. You definitely favour yourself
I'll
in that
fight
one.
anyone and everyone.
Is there a name that springs to mind?
Dubois or Usyk will be amazing.
Andy, very quickly, if I can.
We want Usyk. We want Usyk. He's great fight.
Joseph Parker wasn't holding back in this interview. He's feeling on top of the world and ready to tear through anyone who stands in his way. His confidence is through the roof, and he's already talking about his next big move, with a fight coming sooner than we think. Each question is, will it be Daniel Dubois, or is there an even bigger name lurking around the corner? Parker's eyes are firmly set on Alexander Usyk. He's calling for the fight, and it's clear he believes Usyk has been avoiding him. There's no hesitation in Parker's words, just pure fire. He wants Usyk, and he wants him now. His team is on the same page, pushing for the fight to happen. Usyk might be considered the greatest fighter in the division, but Parker's not intimidated. He's ready to prove he's the man who can take down the champion.
Yeah.
I don't think the fight should have happened, if I'm honest. Like,
Do you think Parker should have been pulled, or someone who was
no,
at least 4 or 5 weeks into a
not
camp?
Parker. No, not Parker. I just feel like I don't think anyone did anything wrong. But you know, when you're representing Martin Bakole, you've got to ask yourself, right? For a long time.
Eddie Hearn didn't mince words. He straight up questioned whether the fight should have even taken place. In his mind, it wasn't just about Parker being pulled. There's a deeper issue lurking beneath the surface. Hearn pointed out that when you're representing someone like Martin Bakole, you have to ask yourself some hard questions. It's not about placing blame, but the entire situation raises eyebrows. Was Bakole in the best condition to fight? Was there a lack of consideration for his preparation? Hearn's words suggest there's more to this story than meets the eye, hinting that things might not have been as clean as they seemed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates on this developing story.
It's just ridiculous, wasn't it? You know, and it was never remotely a contest. Joseph Parker did what he had to do, and fair play to him, and looked good in the process. But you know, I mean, Bakole shouldn't have been in.
But should they be putting Parker in with Dubois now? In a few months' time, he'd sustained no damage at all. Why don't they remake that fight? Because that. If poetic justice was served, that's what Parker deserves.
The boxing pros at Top Rank didn't hold back in their reaction to the fight. They blasted the entire spectacle, calling it ridiculous from start to finish. There was no competition, and Joseph Parker did what he had to do. And while he looked good doing it, the real issue was the opponent. Martin Bakole never should have been in the ring in the first place. So now the real question is, should Parker finally face Daniel Dubois? After a dominant win with 0 damage, they argued it's time for justice. Why not remake the fight that everyone was waiting for? It's the fight that feels right, and Parker, having been robbed of his chance before, truly deserves the opportunity now. If there's one thing boxing fans know, it's that justice, poetic or not, is always worth fighting for.
Oh, goes Bakole!
Yeah.
Woo!
Whoa.
The whole arena shook when he went down.
It's over. This fight's over. It was one shot, one right hand. I didn't like the spots where Parker was trading up because, you know, and all of a sudden, maybe Parker felt the power and the strength and thought, you know what, I can't just let this guy keep walking me down. I've got to hold my feet here.
Eddie Hearn couldn't contain his shock after Joseph Parker's win. He was clearly in awe when Parker landed that right hand. It was like a switch flipped. The entire arena shook, and the fight was over in an instant. Hearn didn't hold back, calling it a statement win, but he also had his concerns. There were moments when Parker was trading punches a little too recklessly, and Hearn wondered if he got a bit too confident in those exchanges. Maybe he felt Bicol's power and realized he couldn't just let him walk him down. That right hand was the game changer, but the fight could have easily gone a different way if Parker wasn't careful. It was a win, no doubt, but it raised serious questions about Parker's strategy in the ring.
Many people thought it could have been yourself.
We agreed. We were ready to step in when Dubois obviously was fell sick, but then they decided to go with Bacoli, and you see why.
Yeah. Was it a bit of a weird choice? Because you was in Dubai, Joe Gallagher, your team, they were all there. So
I don't think it's a weird choice. I think boxers say they want to go for the hardest fights, but in them situations,
Lawrence Seakley shared his thoughts on the decision to move forward with the fight after Daniel Dubois fell ill. He mentioned that his team was ready to step in, but ultimately a different opponent was chosen. Seakley didn't see it as a weird choice, even though the situation was unusual. He understood that the decision was about seeking the toughest fights available, and he respected that. In his mind, it wasn't about taking the easy route, it was about facing the biggest challenges head-on. The fight was always going to be a test, and Seakley believed that's what made it interesting. Despite the unusual circumstances, he saw the move as a step toward proving who's willing to take on the hardest challenges and make the most out of an unpredictable situation. Parker's win was solid, but did it really prove he's ready for a world title shot, or was it just a lucky opportunity?
I don't think he should have fought, really, if I'm honest. I mean, Bacoli was in a great position. He had an IBF final eliminator. I get that they got a good payday for tonight, but realistically, when you look back on it now, are you really ever going to perform? I'm so pleased with Joe Parker because he took a risk as well, but good win.
Eddie Hearn didn't hold back, stating that he didn't think the fight should have even happened. While he acknowledged that the payday was good for both fighters, he questioned the entire situation. With an IBF final eliminator on the line, going ahead with a fight that could have jeopardized a bigger opportunity didn't make much sense in his eyes. Hearn wasn't shy about his doubts, asking whether either fighter was really in a position to perform at their best under those circumstances. However, he still gave credit where it was due, praising Joseph Parker for taking the risk despite the controversy surrounding it. Meanwhile, Kieran was pleased with the outcome, recognizing that Parker seized the opportunity and delivered a solid win.
Joseph Parker now, we don't know if he's going to have that fight with Daniel Dubois. If Dubois goes into an Usyk rematch next, what do you want to see?
I want to see that fight. I think it's going to be a great fight.
Parker Dubois?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great fight.
Who you got?
Who do I got? The best man. But right now, Daniel Dubois is the top man right now. He's the man that's holding the belt. So Parker has to come good. And Parker has the ability to win as well.
Lennox Lewis is keeping a close eye on Joseph Parker's journey after his latest victory. With uncertainty surrounding whether Parker will fight Daniel Dubois next, or if Dubois will go straight into a rematch with Alexander Usyk, the boxing world is on edge. Lewis is enthusiastic about the potential Parker versus Dubois showdown, calling it a fight that could deliver fireworks in the heavyweight division. When asked who he thinks would come out on top, Lewis doesn't hesitate to acknowledge that for now, Dubois holds the belt. But he's quick to remind everyone that Parker is not to be underestimated. Lewis sees immense potential in Parker, noting that the Kiwi fighter has the skills and ability to pull off the win. While he believes Parker has what it takes, he also recognizes the level of competition he's up against in one of boxing's most dangerous divisions.
So the fact that he touched his glove let him know, like, hey, chill out. I'm just calm. I'm not in the best shape. It kind of let him know what pace he was about to go at. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have that same energy that he did for Jared Anderson. You know what I'm saying? There's other guys that he was going to steamroll him until he got in there and he got warm.
Michael Hunter broke down a crucial moment in the fight, pointing out how his opponent tried to set the tone early by touching gloves, a subtle signal that he wasn't in peak shape but was ready to pace himself. It was a strategic move, letting Hunter know exactly what kind of fight he was in. Unlike the high-energy starts seen against fighters like Andy Ruiz and Jared Anderson, this time the approach was different, more calculated, more controlled. Hunter recognized that his opponent came in expecting to steamroll him, only to realize he had a plan. Hunter found his rhythm, warmed up, and slowly turned the fight in his favor. His strategy was clear: drain his opponent's energy early, forcing them to rely purely on stamina. And when that gas tank emptied, Hunter took full control.
I expected Joseph Parker to win, to be honest with you, and it's the kind of message that, you know, when you're looking to get another world title, then you need to show that you're serious about it. So if you can't be getting beat by someone who's just, and I know he's a big puncher, and I know it's easy when it comes to the every boys, but when you find someone who's taking a fight on what, 24 hours notice.
Josh Warrington wasn't surprised by Joseph Parker's win, but he had some strong thoughts on what it meant. He expected Parker to come out on top, but he pointed out that a fighter looking to challenge for another world title needs to make a statement in their fights. According to Warrington, if you're serious about reaching the top, you can't afford to lose to someone stepping into the ring with just 24 hours notice. He acknowledged that while the opponent might have power, there's a different level of readiness required when taking a fight with so little time to prepare. It's the harsh reality of the sport. If you're aiming for greatness, you need to make sure you're not caught off guard by last-minute opponents. For Parker, this win was important, but it's the next steps that will truly show whether he's on track to make a run at a world title again. Do you agree with Warrington's take on Parker's performance? Was it a statement win, or was the timing just too perfect? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Oh, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more boxing updates and insights.